Greetings, greetings, travelers! It is Friday the 31st of July. It's time for 3 o'clock coffee. Nice to be back. We're starting out with Comet NEOWISE again. The comet is now on its way out. Here again is a beautiful image of the comet in the lower right-hand portion of this screen with beautiful Aurora Borealis up in the top upper parts of the screen. This comet is on its way out. As you can see from this chart, the comet is actually getting further and further north and heading more towards the west. It's actually going to be somewhere about here where my mouse is. At the end of July and into August, it'll be heading under Arcturus and heading further and further west, and it's also going to be getting dimmer and dimmer as this is happening. So if you didn't get a chance to see it, I am sorry, but you'll have to wait, around 6,000 years or so to see NEOWISE again. We appreciate its visage while it was here. So, on to the news for the week. There are some meteor showers happening. This particular article I found was just like, oh, it's only on this one too. So it's not true. The Eta Aquariid meteor shower I've mentioned a couple of times. Also mentioned it in our sky update for the month. There's also another small meteor shower known as the Alpha Capricornids, I believe it is. I really wanted to show this article mostly because of this image right here. This image is actually really, really, really cool. And what it does is it shows what what asteroids look like as they enter our atmosphere. Depending on their composition, they actually look a little bit differently. So if they're more nitrogen and oxygen based, they'll be a bright red color. Iron's going to have that bright yellow. Calcium's going to be kind of purpley. Sodium's going to have kind of an orange color. And magnesium will give off kind of a teal color as it burns through the atmosphere. This is really important because there's a meteor shower this coming month in August that's really, really easy to see because there's a lot of meteors, and it's the Perseid meteor shower. And you'll want to know these colors just to make sure you know what you're looking at when you see these things flying through the sky. Again, just depends on their color. Sometimes you'll see nothing but little orange sodium ones. Every now and then maybe it'll be a little redder, so it'll have a nitrogen oxygen one. You never know what you're going to see when you look at a meteor shower, so keep an eye for our sky update on how to find the Perseid meteor shower this month, and how to actually go out and look for these things. You do want to get out of town if you want to see the more faint ones. Usually when you're in cities, you only see the brightest of these meteors, so yeah. Next up, we're going to talk about Asteros, which is a balloon that NASA's designing. It's the size of a football field, so it's very, very large. It's designed to go about 25 miles or 40 kilometers up into the sky above the atmosphere. Now, when you have a ground-based telescope, telescope has to look through the atmosphere, and so if you're looking for certain frequencies, particularly X-ray or ultraviolet or infrared, things that our eyes can't see, it doesn't really filter through the atmosphere very well. But if you can get it up along the edge of the atmosphere or above the atmosphere, such as in one of these lovely balloons, you can actually get a good clear view as if you would put it up into space, something like the Hubble would see, kind of again away from the atmosphere, so up in space itself. This one's not going to be launched until 2023, at least that's the plan, but we'll see how that actually comes about. Usually they have those, like Mylar and high-tech surfaces, and they get up really, really high up in the atmosphere. It kind of resembles a weather balloon, which are still used and sometimes freak people out because they get launched right along the horizon in the west and sunset. They usually fly up really high in the sky, and they start to change color, and that's always kind of an interesting thing because they start out white, so they kind of glow white as they go up, and then they start glowing into a reddish color as the sun starts to set. And I assume that will be the same thing that will happen with this when it does launch eventually, and it will probably freak people out, but it'll still be really cool to see, so can't wait to see it. Again, 2023 for Asteros. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. This NASA balloon. Now, not a balloon, and not taken from a weather balloon. or any high-altitude balloon. This is actually a picture from the Hubble Space Telescope. This was released on the 4th of July. A look at the beautiful world of Saturn. They're calling it summertime on Saturn. Let's take a closer look. There we go. This is a close-up look at that image. We see the beautiful ring world Saturn. 2 of its 82 moons, I believe Saturn has now. That number has gone up considerably from when I was young, but now it's believed to be 82 satellites orbiting around, natural satellites orbiting around the planet Saturn. And here we see the ring system, which of course is what attracts everybody to Saturn. Saturn's ring system is fairly young and very icy. It reflects a lot of light, and so we see it very brightly. There are 2 very dark divisions in the ring system. The Cassini division is the most prominent of the 2. You can see my mouse kind of tracing over it. Again, the Cassini division. The smaller one is called the Encke gap. It's the outermost dark ring right there. There's actually little moons, what are shepherd moons. These shepherd moons actually go through here and keep all these little ring particles in line, and their gravitational waves cause the rings to kind of wobble a little bit. Kind of a cool thing to see. See if I can load a video or something in of that in post, just so you guys can actually see it and not just visualize it in your head. But again, a beautiful picture of Saturn. You can actually see a couple of little high atmospheric disturbances, little tiny vortices, kind of like storms, along the upper atmosphere of the planet. Beautiful, beautiful picture. On to our next subject. You're probably wondering what all this is. This is actually the United Arab Emirates Space Agency, which I didn't know existed till the other day. So I wanted to kind of share. There is a space agency in the UAE, and in particular I want to talk about this image on the bottom left here. That's actually a Mars probe, which was actually launched just a few days ago. It's called the Hope probe. It's the first satellite launched by the United Arab Emirates to the planet Mars. I think it's pretty cool to have this occurring, of course, because the more people studying space, the more we're going to learn, and the more we can share around. They're going to be orbiting around the planet, kind of doing geological surveys and things like that. Just, again, really, really cool to see, because it's not the only mission that was launched in the month of July. There's a reason we did it all this month, because Mars is getting closer and closer from our point of view, and it's a little bit easier to do a transfer orbit from Earth to Mars at the moment. If you launch in July, you get there around February, so it takes a good few months to get there. And we're going to be keeping an eye on both this Mars mission from the United Arab Emirates and this one. We've been talking about Mars Perseverance and all the glitches that kept it from launching, and then it was weather that kept it from launching. Well, finally, if you were up nice and early on the 30th, depending on where you are, of course, that was launched 7:50 a.m. on the East Coast. This is Mars Perseverance rover, and there it is in its launch sequence. Now, unfortunately, a few hours after launch, it was reported that Mars rover Perseverance had gone into safe mode, and no one was sure why. Some sort of technical glitch occurred, and now apparently, before I went on the air to record this, it turns out that the Mars Perseverance rover is now operational once again in its little space capsule, we'll call it, in its on its way to its mission on Mars. So we'll keep an eye on this as we go along, and when we get to February, but it's February 18th is when they're hoping to get this thing on the ground. We'll keep an eye on that, and depending on the time, of course, we'll probably do a live stream and report on that as it's going on. But yeah, I guess that's just about everything. Not too much wanted to cover. We did take a couple days off. We're trying to get everything set up. We're going to try to do a little more live stuff, and so if you haven't already liked and followed, please head over to twitch.tv, where we do live planetarium shows every Monday, and it looks like we're going to start doing them on Wednesdays as well. We're doing them Mondays from 11 to 1, trying to extend that to 11 to 2 o'clock. And then we'll start doing them again on Wednesdays from 11 to 2 as well. With that, we're also going to start doing kind of live question and answer session. I'm going to try to turn that second day, that Wednesday, into more of a Astronomy 101, start teaching as if it was a classroom. And then, so Monday's planetarium show stuff, taking questions, things like that. Wednesday, more of a classroom style setting. Do a planetarium show up front, and then do maybe an hour of like lecture, I think is what we're going to try to do. But yeah, please keep an eye out for that. Again, Mondays and Wednesdays is the goal, starting this coming Monday. So in just a few days, we'll do planetarium show on Monday, and then again planetarium show, and then maybe a little bit of Astronomy 101 on Wednesdays. So we appreciate your support. Please head over to twitch.tv and like, subscribe, that whole thing. Do the same thing here on YouTube. We're trying to just get the word out there. The more people that actually watch, the better it is, because it kind of motivates us. The more people we see actually clicking and responding and caring, the more it seems to motivate us to produce more things, because we know times are kind of strange, times are tough, and it's a little different to just kind of get out of the mold and look at some other stuff. So we hope you're doing well wherever you are. Please stay safe. Please treat your fellow humans kindly. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll see you on Monday for our live planetarium show over on twitch.tv. And we hope you have a pleasant weekend. Get outside, look at the stars. Draw what you see. Enjoy the full moon. And we'll catch you next time. Take care.